Hello, this is Nerdy Girl. This is the top 5 Wednesday video, the last one in 2014. It's very timely, the topic it is, and that's the top 5 books read this year. And I've read a lot of books this year. I decided to do a Goodreads book challenge, and I challenged myself 100 books. I'm like, that's a lot. And I'm almost at 120. How exciting is that? It's been a great reading year for me this year. So it made it extremely difficult to pick books that I felt were my favorites of the year. So really it came down to series, and then I narrowed the series down to my favorite book. So I am going to say my favorite series and then point out my favorite book out of that series. This book really surprised me because I had read a book by this author before called Hex Hall. I finished it, but it didn't wow me enough to pick up the second book. So a lot of people were talking about this book on BookTube, so I decided to give it a try. And I was very much surprised how much I really laughed and thought this book was fun. And I love having just fun books to read. And that book is by Rachel Hawkins, and it's Rebel Belle. I'm eagerly anticipating book number 2. It should be coming out in 2015. And I just love this book. It's fun, and I'm eagerly anticipating what happens next. I'll probably have to reread it before. Number 5. Number 4, didn't come out in 2014, this book, but the last book in the series did. So I'm considering this series my number 4. But I'm going to point out the book I like the most out of that series. And the series is Anna and the French Kiss series by Stephanie Perkins. Isla and the Happily Ever After came out this year. I have to say that was the least favorite of this series. My most favorite was Anna and the French Kiss, and I read it this year, so that's why it's on this video. I also did a book talk on Anna and the French Kiss, and it really got me back into reading contemporary romances, which I just barely started getting back into fantasy again. I read this in the summer. So I highly suggest Anna and the French Kiss. If you haven't read it, almost everybody has. There's videos online about it. And if you want to hear my thoughts about it, there's a video up on my channel. Okay, the next series is the spin-off series of another series. And I read all of these books this year. And it is so number 3 is a Vampire Academy and Bloodline series. And so both of them, I grouped them together. I couldn't really separate them because literally when I finished Vampire Academy, I downloaded Bloodlines. So there really wasn't a big gap for me between these series. I think my favorite out of Bloodlines, is Indigo Spell. So here's this. I highly suggest this book series. It is wrapping up in February. So I'll have read all 12 of them by February, but I highly suggest these books. I've actually read each of them twice, and 2 is the Shatter Me series. But this is my favorite book out of the Shatter Me series is Ignite Me. Juliet is a fully empowered person at this point, and I really do love Ignite Me. I'm in the process of rereading these. I haven't decided if I want to do some kind of talk about these books or not. I may do it as a whole series, as the series all together kind of thing. But I do highly suggest them. I am rereading them. See how I like them on the second turn. So that's number 2. My top book series for the year, I didn't think I would like as much as I did. Sometimes I do like science fiction. I don't read a whole lot of it. I've read some. But I do like fairy tale retellings. So science fiction and fairy tale retellings, I can deal with the science fiction and the fairy tale retellings. And since I heard so much good stuff about the series, I decided to pick it up. And after I bought the first one, because I really try not to buy sequels to books before I've read the first one and I know I like it. Because I've had some where I bought the second one and I didn't particularly like it. So I try to read the first book first. And so when I finished Cinder, I went out and I bought Scarlet. So without any further ado, my book number 1 is Cress by Bremista Meyer. The Whole Lunar Chronicles is number 1. This was my favorite out of them all. I just loved it. And I'm excited about the final book. I think it's coming out in 2015 winter. And then the prequel, Fairest, which should be coming out in the next couple of months, if I remember correctly. I can't remember because I pre-ordered them, so I just know they'll show up at my house when they come out. Then I don't have to keep track of that. But highly suggest these books. It looks kind of thick, but I got through it rather fast. And I wish everybody a good, happy new year. It's almost 2015. It's kind of scary. It felt like it was so far away. So I will see you later. Bye.